good stand.
Hello, guys. It is Wednesday and that time again for the Topherspin Meteorites Meteorite Hangout. We got a great show that I've worked so hard to put together in the last 30 seconds. I just reached out to all my friends and said, look, I really got no subject for today other than look at this beautiful meteorite. Everyone grab a meteorite and show it off. And now we have some beautiful stuff. Not only that, meteorite beautiful meteorites to show off, but we're going to check in with Marco Gaisser, who's in Germany, still on holiday. So he's able to join us at 3 a.m. Crazy man. And so he's actually hooked up his microscope up, and we did a trial run and it worked really well. So I think we're going to get some pretty good microscopic views of meteorites today. In addition to that, one thing I've wanted for a long time is one of my good friends, Stephen Amara, the finder of Barnstable Meteorite. He is a pretty accomplished cutter. He has an eye for meteorites, and he's a really good cutter, has some good equipment, and knows how to make the equipment work better than it should. We're going to check in with him. He's been cutting meteorites for the last hour or so, so he's got some nice slices to show us, and then we're actually going to, he says he has one loaded in there ready to slice. So if you've never been around, if you haven't had the chance to see meteorites up close, what they look like internally on a microscopic level, and also when you cut into them, today's a good show. So we're glad you joined us. I'm going to open it up to anyone and everyone who has anything to show. Just raise your hand. But I'm going to kick it off just so there's no one hesitant. I'll kick it off with a little something. One of my good friends is Mark Lyon, and he lives about 35, 40 minutes from here. And he and my wife get together quite often on Christmas and my birthday, and they put together a meteorite experience for me. So it's really the coolest thing in the world, because I can't afford to get $10,000 of meteorites for Christmas. But if I have $10,000 of meteorites in front of me and I'm allowed to pick one of them, you know, that's a good trade-off. So I get to review and inspect and enjoy all the pieces. So I hope you guys don't think this is too cheesy, but this is the video my very beautiful wife, Sue, made for me for Christmas. And I'm going to play the video clips and pause them and then show you the meteorite she's talking about. So kind of give you the experience that she gave me during Christmas. So give me 1 second, I'll start that video. Okay, so here is the Christmas Meteorite Experience 2020.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Guess what I got for you? I decided to present you with another experience / gift. You do get to choose a gift. I bet you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you a few clues in case you haven't figured it out yet. So we're going to be going on a little bit of an adventure, but you don't have to leave your comfy chair in the living room. This adventure is going to take us to 4 different countries, spanning 3 continents. Can you guess which continents? We're also going to encounter a few numbers, and I'm going to give you one of them. It's a measurement of grams, 344.681. When we visit these 6 countries, they're going to be at 6 different points in time. 4 of those times are going to be in 2020. One of those times is going to be in the last century, while our parents were alive, but we weren't born yet. And the earliest date that we're going to go back to is hundreds of years ago, and I'm going to give you one clue. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Your last clue is in this bag. It's a secret, so I'm just going to give it to you. So that is the conclusion of the first video. we will be back to start our adventure. You guessed it. It's meteorite related. Shocker. Surprise, surprise. Okay. We are going to stop at our first of 6 little adventure points. So I'm going to give you some clues. You ready? Okay.
If you guys, by the way, she's got to be the cutest med head we've ever had on this show.
That.
And if you guys can figure out the meteorite she's talking about, yell it out first.
So, this is a meteorite without a name, as it is still under classification. It is a chondrite. It's an Achondrite, and it is the rarest form of ordinary chondrite. And it is 235 grams. It's also an end piece. Any idea?
It's not classified yet. All right, so now I will stop sharing and show you the piece. This is what she's talking about.
Ooh,
Look at that crust.
unreal.
I hope I can zoom in. Oh, my phone's not letting me zoom in today. Great.
It's working.
Yeah, it's got beautiful crust,
Wow.
massive end cut. I love this feature inclusion right in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just gorgeous on the interior.
Ah, Rumorides.
Yeah. So this is 235 grams of an unclassed, well, being classified Rumorudi. And I just think it is gorgeous.
It's beautiful, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm really curious of what the classification is going to be, because I do see a lot of really, really tiny chondrules in there. But also you see, you know, different shape and angular, and then different inclusions like this one down in here. But it is just an absolute gorgeous stone on every single level. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. And then that crust just can't be beat.
Super thick.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
can.
it's thick crust. It's like almost a millimeter right there. It almost looks like.
Yeah. I hate to think of it cracking off while it was on the saw or in someone's saddlebag getting here, but yeah. So this is
so is that a forever piece?
This is a almost forever piece. It's not the piece I chose, but I ended up buying it. So Mark makes out really well in these Christmas things because he knows he's going to sell one, but he usually sells 3. So, so this is the Rumorudi that I chose for myself, but I'm going to show you the one that my wife got me. Look at that crust. Yeah, just a gorgeous piece, and my largest Rumorudi to date. So, yeah. So that's the first item. Let me go ahead and pause this for a second.
I wanted to stop for a moment and thank our sponsor for today's adventure. So a great big thank you goes out to Mark Lyon of the Mark Lyon Collection. Thank you very, very much for making this experience possible. Merry Christmas, Mark.
She likes you.
I got these glasses so you would take me more seriously. I think it makes me look very studious. What do you think? I don't know, sometimes you don't take me very seriously because I like things like unicorns and little cats riding burritos in outer space. So I'm hoping this makes me look very smart. Okay, we're on the second stop on our meteorite adventure. We're still on the same continent that we were on the first stop, but I'm not going to tell you which one. This is an ungrouped chondrite. It either fell or was found in 2020, and it weighs 2.95 grams. It does have a name. Any idea?
Any ideas, guys? Any ideas which it is?
Did she say 2.95 grams?
Yep.
2.95 grams.
And I just posted pictures of it on Facebook 2 hours ago.
Tarda.
Tarda. You are looking at the oriented Tarda with blue-gray fusion crust on the reverse.
Get out of town, man. That's beautiful.
This one is really nice, and I hope I can zoom in because that would make the experience so much better for everyone, but it's not. So you can see it's a damn near complete stone with complete orientation. And you haven't even seen the best part yet. Glad you got a little bit of a peek inside, but look at the reverse side.
Oh, wow.
So
Complete
cool.
roller lip.
I'm hoping the color in the crust is coming through.
Iridescence.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
good.
Yeah. The video doesn't nail it for sure, but dang, you could see those blues popping like a couple centimeters inside of the rollover lip.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it really, in person, obviously, the iridescence shows off really well. But this is a super oriented, dang near complete. It's missing a tiny chunk right there, but it gives you a look at the C2 ungrouped interior. So this is
I think it's worth it with the break on it, so that way you can see the interior, like you're saying,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So I have this listed right now on Facebook for sale for $800 if anyone's interested. I'm just helping Mark out. I took such beautiful pictures of it that I just wanted to have it a little bit longer. Okay, so that's that, and let me go ahead and get back to the video.
That's a really good deal for such a large tartar.
Yeah, the tartas that I'm seeing in the 3 gram range, I've seen them up to $1,400. It's pretty crazy. Let me pause this for 1 second.
Like with the iridescence and the rollover lip like that, and you get to see the interior, that's a good combo. Nice piece, man. That's
Thank
real
you.
quality piece.
All right. You ready for stop number 3? All right, we're going to a different continent now. And this is the one that we're going way far back in time to. I'm going to give you the answer, 1492.
Anyone?
So this is a piece that is
You have it.
0.631 grams. It's an LL6, and it is considered the grandfather of all meteorites. Kind of was the meteorite that got people into looking and watching for meteorites. I'm pretty sure that you probably knew what it was right away. So, you ready to take a look?
And unfortunately, that was one of those that I did not buy, but I loved it so much I took pictures of it, and now that is in the Oz Bachman collection. So he owns that ensign sign, 0.6 grams of it from 1492.
Okay, we're going to hop across the ocean to the 3rd continent on the adventure. And we're on the second half of this already. Are you sad? We are more than halfway through. I'm sad. So, this was, I want to say it was either 1959 or 1969. But either way, it was before we were born. Not too much longer before you were born, but still a number of years before I was born. This is carbonaceous. It's a CV3. And I have 63.9 grams for your viewing pleasure. Any idea what it is?
Anyone?
Take a look.
So what is it, guys?
Allende.
Allende is correct. And I took the opportunity. She said 60 something grams. This one's only 50 something grams because the 60 something gram one is in my cabinet now. I upgraded. I bought this one from Mark and like it so much that when I had the opportunity to upgrade to the bigger one, I did. Beautiful CAIs in there. This one is available for sale from Mark. I got to get it back to him. But it has really good CAIs in it. Really nice chondrules. This is the Allende. Yeah, it's really a beautiful stone. And the oldest stuff in the galaxy right there.
Where did it all go?
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the video.
Okay, stop number 5. Now remember, we're staying in the same country, on the same continent for the last 2 stops. This is a 2020 find. It is 22 grams. It's cut in half.
No, it's not.
It is a Martian Schurgotite. Enjoy.
So this is the Laherzolitic Poikilytic Schurgotite. 22 grams of it.
That's awesome.
And she was saying it was cut in half because it really needs to be cut in half. Look at that. I know that right now, Stephen and Merrick would love to get his saw on that.
Let's do it.
This again is available directly from Mark. I don't own this one, but it's fun to show them off and know that it could have been mine. Yeah, I honestly never thought that I would hold 22 grams of another planet. So if you've never seen a hunk this big, for those on YouTube, and one of the comments I always get about Mars when I show it off to people is they're surprised it's not red. The red is well, it's a reasonable question, you know what I mean, and it shows that people are thinking. So I'm always love answering questions, and the reason why the surface of Mars is so red is because of the oxidation. There's oxidation on the top level surfaces and stuff, but it doesn't penetrate the entire density of the planet. So there's surface material that is red, where the majority of the planet is not affected like that. So let me go ahead and stop sharing. I'm doing it again. 1 second.
2021. Here we are at the last stop on our meteorite adventure. Hope you've enjoyed it. And once again, wanted to thank Mark Lyon of the Mark Lyon Collection for so graciously and generously letting me borrow most of these meteorites. You are, part of your gift is to buy one of, I'm going to buy one of them for you. Usually we end up buying more than one though, because you love your meteorites. So this is a 2020 find. It is it's a glassy consistency. It's very shock melted. Mark is actually the main mass holder, and it's 20.2 grams. And I'm not going to tell you the name, but I'll tell you that it's a lunar. Any idea what it is?
Any guesses?
Are you ready to see it?
Stained glass lunar.
That is correct. I now am the proud owner of what I believe is one of the most beautiful lunars ever. Tuat 005, also known as the stained glass lunar.
Is that your slice, Topher?
That's mine.
Oh,
This is the one I
get out of
picked.
town.
That's beautiful.
This is the
That's
one I
the slice
picked
I wanted.
out of everything I was offered. This is the one I couldn't put it down.
Chose wisely.
It's the
Thank
most
you.
beautiful lunar out there, in my opinion. It could be over 2 millimeters thick, and still you could see light shine through that thing.
That's a pretty thick slice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And let's see why they call it stained glass lunar. Hold on, let me turn off this light.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is crazy beautiful. I cannot believe how translucent those clasts are.
Is that
Amazing.
in your will?
Well, I do plan on having an end of life service that a celebration of my life when I finally pass, and everyone who attends gets a free meteorite, lunar not included. We're talking NWA 2 grams.
How about a
Oh,
photo?
man. You're going to be a big shot by then. You're talking like, 40, 50 years from now.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm the first human who's going to live to be 312. So I have many years of collecting and dealing still to go.
We're going to be mining lunars off the moon at that point.
Yeah. So I used to think that NWA 11273 was the most beautiful lunar.
Mm.
I'm starting to rethink that because I've never seen a translucent piece of NWA 11273.
That's
This
the
is
most beautiful lunar.
Yeah. And from what I understand, I don't know if Mark is on the line or not. From what I understand, they were traveling from Ereshad to Iritira, or however you pronounce it, to Tarda to hunt the Tarda strewn field. And on their way, they stopped halfway and just started hunting to see what they could find. And they found this.
Mm.
Literally out of this world.
Yeah. So this is the one I ended up choosing, and I just am in love with it. And I'll tell you what, it looks even sexy in the case because it fills out the case perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How did you get
there's,
that in the case so fast?
I'm a maestro. I do this for a living. Well, I do this for a hobby.
That
Let's
would
see.
be nice in one of Ron's picture frames with backlight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send it over this way. I'll take
Yeah. I
that.
was going to say, well, Ron, I need to talk to you after this about something else anyway. So let me see here.
Well, there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed your meteorite experience. I know that you would probably be okay if I gave you a meteorite experience for every gift that I give you for the rest of your life. I was thinking maybe on April 1st, I might actually just do rocks. So, I love some Pallasites, but some of the other ones that you show me sometimes, my reaction usually is like, let me go out to the driveway and find a rock. So maybe you'll get an April Fool's meteorite experience of meteor wrongs. No, you would not like that. Well, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I love you. And I hope you enjoyed your gift.
There we go. So that's the video experience that my wife put together for me. And
You know what that is, don't you, Dover? That's meteorite porn.
yeah, exactly. Multi-levels. Why is this Yeah, she is a. I think I have 2 cameras pinned right now. Wow.
Yeah.
Remove. There we go. Yeah, she's a doll. Let me see here. Yeah, I really love her. We've been married 10 years now, and yeah, it just gets better. So we're enjoying that. So she thanked Mark, and I definitely want to thank Mark too, because it's a great experience every time we get to do that. So I know that we have Marco, who's going to be doing some microscope work for us. I just want to see how ready he is. Don't know if now is a good time or not. He's in Germany, so we have to give him a few seconds. Yeah. And then after Marco, we're going to be visiting with Stephen Amara in Massachusetts, and he's going to show us some of the meteorites he's been cutting, as well as cut some live for us here today. So what's one, Mark, I'm sorry, Stephen and I have talked many times about meteorites and meteorite cutting, and it's the same thing if you take it down to a terrestrial level with a geode. When you pop a geode open, you don't know how beautiful it's going to be inside or if it's going to be a bust. It could be absolutely gorgeous, or it could just be all full of,
Mud balls.
Yeah, but you are the first human ever to see that. Now you take it up a level. You're the first being on this entire planet to see this interior from another planet, or in this case, the moon. Check out what Marco has right now.
Whoa.
I got you highlighted, Marco, so if you can come off mute, we can hear you.
Okay, guys.
Hello.
Get this one here in focus. Maybe you can help me if you... Do you see it in focus?
Oh, yeah, it looks really
Not
good. Right there. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. At the last Hangout, we talked a little bit about microscope and how interesting and fantastic the observation with the microscope is. And that gets me a little bit inspired. So maybe you're a little bit tired with all my oriented meteorites, and I thought I'd do something new.
No, never. Every single week, buddy.
So I prepared here some samples. Small samples, perfectly for microscopic investigations. And if you have any thoughts or so, and maybe we can discuss the samples. So any ideas what you have here?
Lunar regolith breccia?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was able to name the NWA number like that.
You're so good, Topher.
NWA 5000?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
NWA 5000 is nicknamed the Legendary.
Yeah.
It's nicknamed the Legendary Lunar. So it's kind of like when you have a lunar that beautiful and someone's saying, dude, don't you know what it is? It's got to be the Legendary.
Have you ever seen a full slice of that? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So Greg Cooper had a couple of years ago a full slice of it at the Ensisheim show. Wow. Breathtaking.
Yes.
Well, he's like the godfather of NWA 5000, correct?
Yeah, he is the main mass holder of it.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
It has only 1.06 grams,
mm-hmm.
but it's really a very, very interesting material. So what you can see here is the dark matrix, and of course, these white clasts that you can see here is the feldspathic clasts. So the the feldspat.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the name? My goodness.
From the Highlands?
Plagioclase. Sorry.
Yeah.
Plagioclase. And of course, especially of this meteorite, we also have that gabbroic structures and gabbroic material in that. That is this pyroxene plagioclase mix. Please correct me if I'm wrong, or if you have other informations about that.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, here in that region, you can see that gabbroic material. Also very interesting, we have here a crack, not a crack, but a shock vein.
Mm.
And as you can see here, it goes through that clast here, and it's filled with glass in this part.
That is a shock vein,
Here,
huh?
yeah, here I'm pretty sure that is not glass. That I think it's our terrestrial weathering products, so carbonates or something like that.
So it was able to work its way through the, it looks like it's the same route as the shock vein was, but
Yeah,
it's been replaced by oxides.
most possibly, yeah.
But if you also look there, go back to where you were for a second, Micro. Right there in the center between the glossy glass and the yeah, that little hole right there may
Yeah.
lead to another slice with another external port where the contamination, terrestrial contamination, could have entered.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You ever tried hitting it with a black light? You can see if it's caliche and it's.
We can barely hear you, Mike.
Caliche.
I was saying, if you try hitting it with a black light, a lot of times you could tell if it's caliche that's gotten through, because it'll light up a lot more.
Oh, that's a good tip, Mike.
That is
Okay,
just
guys.
a beautiful lunar. Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
While he's switching up, right below that shock vein, you had a kind of an interesting part where it was like offset, almost like it was also shocked, but it was not shocked to the point it created a shock vein, but it actually like disjointed the material.
Okay.
Really?
Can I take a guess at this one?
Any
Oh,
thoughts?
Black
wow.
Beauty.
70-34.
Not really. It's a
No?
parent.
Black Beauty.
Okay. Yeah.
11-220.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, yeah, you're right. It's Black Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go. Way to go, Stephen.
What a beauty. So they call it Black Beauty. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Now this
What's
is
really typical for Black Beauty are this melt. How can we name that? Melt pebbles or something like that?
yeah. Yeah. Little melt areas.
Or melt areas, yeah. And of course, also the white plagioclase clast here and there.
This is fantastic. Isn't there I was reading something about Black Beauty the other day, and they were talking about how many different lithographies they saw in it, and it's like I think 16 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely amazing meteorite, Black Beauty. But yeah.
And that's the article I was reading was talking about Black Beauty and Amara, how they're similarly hard to study because each slice, each area of the meteorite presents a different lithography. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes it's hard to work on.
Yeah, this is a very small slice. It weighs only 80 milligrams, but it's very thin, so the surface area is quite big. So yeah, you can see something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a lot bigger than my Black Beauty. I have a Mike Kelly sized Black Beauty.
Okay, guys, next one.
Yes, please. So we saw a
switch
planetary
over
set.
From Black Beauty.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Any thoughts?
7312.
Nope, 7325. If
Exactly. Bingo over.
A
Is
couple
that it?
numbers off.
The famous NWA 7325. It's not a pairing. It's directly from Stefan Ralev.
Nice.
He's an absolutely great guy and a good friend of mine. And here you can see really something special. So some thoughts are that it maybe come from Mercury. I'm not sure about that. But it's absolutely a unique meteorite. What you can see here is that it consists mainly of two lithologies. We have first the chromium diopside, which is green. And then we have that, I would say, milky looking plagioclase beside that chromium diopside.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's only my opinion, but I think it's one of the most beautiful meteorites that we found here on Earth.
It's super. I've had an opportunity to look at some under magnification as well, and it really doesn't look like anything else. The closest thing that it reminds me to is Trinitite, where it has that glassy, almost exploded, airy look to it. But these are solid crystals.
And get a little bit closer here.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I cannot zoom in with my cell phone. That would be better because the optics of this microscope is not the best, especially on higher magnifications. But maybe not so good, huh?
Yeah, but you have to understand, for some people on YouTube, this is the first time they've ever seen a meteorite. Or in this, we also should say this is an ungrouped achondrite. So this is something we're not sure of the parent body, where it actually came from.
Yeah. Maybe it's a part of a planetesimal which no longer exists.
Yeah, it could be a planetesimal that died a long time ago, or very, very, very slight chance, but scientifically it's possible that it could be a piece of Mercury. And that's because they did a little bit of testing during the flyovers of Mercury and saw the same magnetic orientation in the crystals as they do in the surface of Mercury. So that's a hypothesis, but definitely I would not bet my house on it.
Yeah. I have the same opinion, Topher. Okay. Next one. Ta-da!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here we have NWA 5552. It's an L3. And of course, what's so nice on those L3s is that fantastic chondrules in there. You can see also some interesting lithologies here. So if you look here and we switch over to that side, you see here a lot of chondrules packed together. What I also really love on L3 meteorites are those bleached chondrules. You can see them here and here. Or
what do you call those? Bleached?
Bleached, yeah, or bulleye chondrules. So these are radial pyroxene chondrules which underwent
aqueous alteration.
That's why they get this white rim here.
That is super cool. I did not know that, Marco and Stephen. Thank you. See, there's no egos on these hangouts. I'm here to learn too.
Which NWA number is this one, Marco?
5552.
Beautiful. I have an L3 similar to that, and it actually has this. I want to say it's like a bust of a ghost. So like it literally looks like it has a ghost face in it. Does anybody remember that from one of my videos?
I remember that one.
The ghost face chondrule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was one of those peroxides with aqueous alteration, I guess, around the outside. It was definitely armored.
Okay.
I mean, not armored. It was like a bullseye chondrule. It had the white outline.
That's beautiful.
It also has a nice feature here. Look at that. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Extremely green chondrule right here.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Not only
I
that,
have
that's
no
like
idea what that is.
that's like a low petrological grade lithology right there in the 5 o'clock position.
Wow. There's so much details in the meteorites once you get microscopic on them.
Yeah, much to see here on that piece.
Yeah, like that big chondrule at 9 o'clock right there. You can definitely see a different internal structure from that one. Yeah, the right dead center right now. Yeah, you can definitely see that has a totally different structure than all the other chondrules around it.
Yeah.
It's escaping me the name of it right now, but I have a chart that tells me the names of all the different types of chondrules.
Could be a bird olivine, maybe?
A barred olivine?
Mm.
No. Usually the barred olivines have more linear lines on them.
Yeah.
But definitely a really cool piece. And then you see that one that got squished in there right at 3 o'clock, basically. It has a white line around it and literally got smushed into a weird shape.
This one?
The one similar to that, but at 3 o'clock. Closer to you. And a little more in right there, that one. You can
This
see
one,
yeah, it got smushed by something. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually a compound chondrule. It grew with 2 other chondrules together, and so that's what causes those semicircular indents.
Really, a compound?
Right.
Okay. Awesome.
Think about how old that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Older than the Earth. It's unbelievable. That's what makes meteorites so special.
Exactly.
Almost looks like a pet.
Another one.
Mm-hmm.
So, any thoughts?
That is a Eucrite all day long.
Yeah. With an extremely glossy fusion crust.
That's Tirhert. Booyah, baby!
Wow, it looks like it's wet.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so interesting because if you have it in your hand, you see that glossy fusion crust, but under the microscope you can see, it is really transparent, that crust, and you see, all those crystals underneath that crust, and that's, a special feature on those fresh fallen Eucrites.
That is amazing. And Tirhert is actually a witnessed Eucrite fall, and it's it's a polymict, so it's, I believe, or no, it's a monomict, but it's brecciated.
It's monomict, yeah.
Yeah, it's a monomict. I think it's brecciated, which is different than my new classification, Gorara 003, which is a monomict Eucrite with just the same glossy crust and see-through in places.
Yeah. So monomict, and the next one, also a lot to see in that piece.
Whoa.
Diogenite?
No.
No.
Howardite.
Oh,
no.
no.
But it could be possible if I would see it in that way with all those green crystals, autopyroxene crystals. I would also say most probably a Howardite, but it's classified as a polymict Eucrite.
It's definitely polymict all day long.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
reason we're saying polymict rather than monomict, if you noticed on the Tirhert we just looked at, it all looked the same underneath the crust. It was mono, meaning one stone. This is polymict, meaning many stones crushed. Oh, look at that. That's what I call the creamy, dreamy part of the Eucrite. I love
Yeah.
those.
So if you have a monomict Eucrite, for example, like the one before that piece, Tirhert, you see exactly that structure, but that is only a cluster cement with other fragments of its parent body, and then we call it polymict.
Man, there's a lot going on in that piece.
Absolutely. Look at those black clasts.
Yes.
They almost look a little bit like CM chondrites or so.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the only one to be thinking like really weird stuff like Achondrite. I didn't know what this was, man. That's why I was quiet.
Yeah, the polymict Eucrite.
Mm-hmm. Had you started with that centered, I would have got it. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I recognized in there.
And here we have. Any thoughts?
Oh, that's dark Diogenite.
Yep. Also a polymict, but now Diogenite. You see that black matrix, but a lot of autopyroxene clasts.
Oh, look at those.
So what would you have to zoom in to see the different material? I mean,
yeah.
So what makes that the polymict? Because I mean, there must be some really small fine grained material in there that's
well, the fact that there's really you see distinction between class and matrix. That's one of the, like, I'll show you a piece of Gorara. It's the same throughout. You don't see a matrix like that.
All right, so grain size when it varies widely like that, even if it's the same color, they would still consider it polymict?
No, I would have to look at what you're talking about, but what we're looking at here is definitely a mix of two different materials at least. And I'm sure if you get down there closer microscopically, you'll notice other stuff. But with
also in thin sections, I think that would be maybe the thing where you can see that it is polymict.
Yeah,
definitely.
And keep in mind that we're playing meteorite classification guy by uneducated and Zoom meeting rather than thin sections and electron scanning microscopes.
You're doing a good job, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, something very different.
Oh, nice.
A Pallasite. Any thought which one?
Not Fukang, is it?
Exactly, it's Fukang.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I love those great big crystals in Fukang.
It's amazing.
And they're quite transparent here. It's also etched, as you can see.
Beautifully.
So the chemisite and tennite crystal structure is clearly visible.
One thing I love about Fukang is it tends to have the layering of the crystals in a way that it traps light and produces like a rainbow iridescent trap light effect. So you'll be able to find some of them somewhere. Like there was one near the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, where it actually looks like the light is coming from inside. The call's coming from inside your meteorite.
Marco,
beautiful.
Can you go to the top left-hand corner again, or at least the left hand of the?
Here?
What I love about the Pallasite right there, that right there. I mean, The point on the 3 o'clock position, wouldn't you say that chipped off when
Yeah.
this piece exploded? You know what I mean? Like that's
hmm
significant. That's amazing. That's what I love about the Pallasites. I feel like it's a good read of what happened to that planetary body, or the core mantle boundary of that planetary body. You know what I mean?
And because it went through more impact, more alteration, more heat, more anything, it's separated from the main olivine and it's darker in color.
Oh yeah, huh? So is that? Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's gorgeous, man. It may also have metal behind it, which gives it a darker appearance. It may have actually separated and now be floating on top of some metal, which would obviously give it a darker appearance. But a lot of times you'll see olivines like that are shocked into being darker than their cousins.
Definitely. It just looks like it just like snapped right off the tip of that one. That's cool. I love Fukang.
Yeah, Fukang rocks.
Oh, this is the chartreuse.
Yep, right there at almost at midnight. You see those little spots? That like the blue in there. Yep.
And there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, okay, guys. That
Awesome.
was what I wanted to show you.
It's great. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget really when it was, you took us out into the cosmos and showed us the universe on the grand scale. And it's super cool to be able to go and see the universe on the micro scale as well. So
And touch it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Marco. We really appreciate, and honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I've really enjoyed having you live the last 3 weeks or so. But it's been fantastic having you, being able to partake live with us. I know that you enjoy the replays, but there's nothing like having you here with us right now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, it would be great to participate every meeting live, but yeah, next week you will get a nice video.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and we'll do a little topic, and Marco will send in his weekly check-ins from Germany. So awesome. Thank you very much for the microscope work. That was really good stuff.
Thanks.
As promised, we're going to check in with Stephen Amara, who is a cutter extraordinary. He's the meteorite cutter of the stars. And he kind of looks like a blueberry today. So, hey, why don't you tell us a little bit what you've been doing there and show us your saw. I know a lot of us have seen it, but on YouTube, I mean, I have hundreds of 400 people watching. So,
all right, I got to try to do this as professionally as possible.
Nothing less.
Not really. So, anyways, guys, I'm working on 2 cutting projects tonight, and I hope my mic is not going in and out right now, but
you sound good.
I just finished up with a very special stone. It was from my dear friend and Moroccan dealer, Mustafa Hanini. And this one we considered together one of the most beautiful LL3 chondrites. We were just considering it chondrite, but you could tell just by the fact that it's probably low metal. It's probably like a 50-gram specimen. I'd have to check my photos to confirm the weight, but that was the first project of the night. I'll switch over my camera right now so you can take a peek at it. Okay, so here we go. This is an old high-tech disc, and I do not recommend them for any of your polishing procedures, but these are the slices that I finished up tonight or earlier this evening.
All freaking flat, dude.
Yeah, they're very precise. And we'll get into how I can get them so flat, or at least we'll just talk about it briefly. But this is potentially a primitive LL3 chondrite. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
And I apologize if the clarity is not that good, but oh no, that's pretty good, right?
Whoa.
Looks like
Yeah.
dino bone.
Holy moly.
Very nice, Stephen. Great.
I'm going to have two. Everything's opposite on this camera right now, so I'm moving around. If it disappears, it's because I'm not understanding the orientation. But so this right here is the this is going to Daniel Sheik, our friend and local classifier at FSU. And what I'm hoping is potentially he'll make two thin sections from this, one for me and one for analysis. This is about 12 grams.
Nice.
It's a very good slice, nice and
That is
square.
gorgeous, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful material.
Beautiful.
It's really primitive and low metal. And the slices in general just came out very nice. So this will be classified under Mustafa Hanini's name. I did purchase the rest of the material from him, but there's really not much, but it's incredibly beautiful.
Ooh.
Oh, that's even better. Look at that.
Oh,
Try to stay as still as possible.
How was the crust on that, the fusion crust?
No crust at all. It's all weather to weather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's in my opinion one of the wonderful things about the LL3s. I'm a big chondrule guy personally. I'm not too much into the metal meteorites, but in my opinion, LL3s, whether they are weathered or not, they tend to just really be beautiful inside because they're so tightly packed. The matrix is just impenetrable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no room for weathering. They do weather. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying the consistency throughout the chondrules and the matrix, it doesn't affect the appearance as much as some other meteorites that become weathered and ugly over time.
Mm-hmm.
For example, look at the water that came off of that meteorite. It's red.
Yeah.
It's red like the Algerian clay. It's Siricho.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the slices from my earlier cuts. I have a nice Roverity as well. Check that out. I just opened that up.
Sweet.
Very beautiful.
You're cutting out, Stephen, but that is a beautiful Rumerudi.
I apologize for my service.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Roverity. Topher, is the video quality off? Should I try to?
Yeah, the video quality is good. The sound sucks, but if you want to cut, we can watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to pause for a second, I'll try to improve that.
Okay. Well, we just did a little pause in the live action because one of our good friends, Kyle Josephy, joined us, and it blew my mind when I saw that he popped in our live meeting because I know he had surgery earlier today. And I'm thinking, who is using his phone? Turns out that he is recovering nicely from his surgery. He's in good spirits and feeling pretty well. The whole Meteorite crew gang was very happy to see him join us. We actually just chatted with him a little bit. So we're relieving his boredom, which is great. So we're doing a lot of good in the world. Stephen, you ready? We'll go back to you and see if we can get your mic better.
Yeah, how you hearing me right now?
Perfectly.
All right, I apologize for earlier.
No, man, the show is all yours, bud.
Excellent. So, so you've seen the potentially primitive LL3 that I sliced earlier. Now I'll switch over to the project that's on the saw. So I'll turn you around here in the video. So this is my saw, guys. It's a very simple machine. And it's a Covington horizontal combination lapidary slicer and polisher. And the beauty of this machine is it can fit up to a 10-inch blade and also down to a 4-inch. So you can cut really fine material, like say some like small Martians or Wanonites or things like that you just really want to save on material. It's very versatile. It has,
I would imagine it's totally variable speed.
it's not variable speed, unfortunately, and that's one of the things that bothers me about it. But for now, it hasn't affected too much of
not at all
the cutting situation.
No.
So if you're wondering what this cup is here, as you can see, it's tethered to the cutting arm. And the reason I use the cup specifically is it's kind of a good weight. This is a gravity fed arm. So this tether gets pulled by the cup, and I just let it go down here, right? And the saw proceeds with the cut. And the nice part about the cup for this particular thing is I can add weight to it. I could just throw stones in there or like lead or whatever I have around me. I could just throw it in there, and it'll help with the cut.
Or if you time your beer drinking perfectly.
I can't show that. So the next project I have is a very special chondrite. I'll try to bring it over here. I have to drag the tether along. Hold on. Let me just pull this tether along with me. And just give me a minute here, Topher. I'm gonna just try to get this into a better position. So I shared this with a few of my friends, including Topher and Pat Brown, and this is not exactly conducive lighting to see what's going on in this meteorite, but in this portion of the stone, it has a very tight matrix. The attraction to a magnet is relatively low. It's between L and LL. But I would say with that chondrule density, it could be in the LL range. I have high hopes, and I always keep low expectations just in case. So I'd like to show you how I do this, guys.
This is awesome. I've been wanting to get Stephen Amara to cut a meteorite on here for only since June.
And Topher, honestly, man, I took a big break from cutting, as you know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I just went with the flow this year. It was a little bit of a funky year, and I'm trying to get back into it. I'm also moving in a week, guys.
Yeah.
So the setup that I have going right now is temporary, and I'm setting up my dream cutting laboratory in a basement at my girlfriend's house, and she's going to allow me to do that. So I'm so happy.
Nice. She's a
so
keeper.
let me switch you around and show you how I get the cutting done. Okay.
You betcha. And this is the excitement that, I mean, I have anxiety issues, but I feel excitement right now to see what's inside this rock.
I have a new light in here. It takes up way more space. So I'm just going to shift it and get my camera phone into position. All right. Can you guys see everything relatively clear?
Perfectly.
Awesome. I'm just going to angle it up a little bit so you're not like looking too far behind me. Okay, so this is, again, the Covington 10-inch combination lapidary / cutting machine. It'll do both your polishing and your cutting. You just have to swap the disc. It's gravity fed, and I explained that earlier. And now the stone that's going to be cut is a nice 140 some odd gram stone. One of the things that you need to be conscientious of when you're cutting meteorites is you need to have the idea in your head of what the slice will look like after you've made the cut. And it's also something that a lot of people aren't into, but I don't use any glue as of now. I haven't had any problems so far cutting meteorites that are kind of odd shapes. I just really crank down the vise on these things and just make sure they don't move. So the first cut is always your end cut. This end cut is probably going to be, I would say, almost a centimeter thick from the blade to the tip of the end cut. So I'll start right now. I'm using distilled water. You want to use a lot of it. This is a 6-inch Pro Slicer blade. Can you guys hear me? Mic check.
Yep.
Cool. So when I proceeded to the cut, I just go in nice and slow. My machine, there's a lot of bouncing and vibration into the cut. Some people don't experience this, but this is also I feel like this is a finer machine because you can kind of control what's going on. And at first, I don't just drop the ball. I feed it in with this tether. So I'm going to feed it in to the blade. And make sure that without too much pressure, I start that cut on the rock. And the reason I don't want to use a lot of pressure is because I don't want it to do any unwarranted movement up and down. I want that blade to cover as much surface area linear as possible, so that way the rest of the cut is nice and straight. So I'm in the cut, now I'm going to drop the ball. Now I carefully just get my hand underneath the meteorite, so when I get through that cut, it's not going to just drop to the bottom of the tool. And also, I keep my hand over this tether, so I can slow it down towards the end of the cut.
Yeah, near the end of the cut, you sometimes get blowouts and chipping.
Away from the end of the cut. I'm going to slow it down with the tether just by grabbing it, pulling it against the cut. This is where you get a lot of chip off right here, so I'm really pulling the weight off the tether, just going slow into the end of the cut. All right, then I glide it back and forth real quick. Make sure there's no chip in the saw. Pull the weight up, pull the tether out of the way of the saw, shut it off. Let's see what we have here. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
There we go. That's what I want to hear.
I knew this was going to be a beautiful meteorite, and it probably looks better dry, but I think the second cut's going to be even better. So I have a 1 millimeter, I think they call it a pipette, or yeah, pipette.
Yep.
And
that's what Matt does every night.
Oh, this is just incredible. I hope you guys can see this.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Showstopper.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Dude, you can pick them.
I like.
Hold on a second here. Let's try to get this under the camera. Oh, I knew this was going to be a beautiful meteorite. Guys, I've been anticipating the day of cutting this. This is hopefully as much as you guys want to see this thing just now, but
Oh, there you go.
Stunner.
Very nice.
Wow.
It's beautiful. One nice big chondrule and a number of other chondrules that are sort of crammed together. That's a nice one.
yeah, the density is insane. Would you guys like to see another cut?
Absolutely.
And I'll show you how I proceed with second and third cuts and whatnot.
And if you notice right on there when you're holding it near your pointer finger at 9 o'clock, there is a little smudge or maybe a burn mark. I don't know if that's what that is. I'm seeing on the entry point of the blade, or is that a chondrule?
9 o'clock. Oh, right there.
Yes.
That's armored chondrule.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that might have been a saw burn, but that is a bonus and a half.
this is it's a beautiful chondrite. Wow. I'm really shocked at how beautiful this is. I knew it was gonna be, but wow, guys, you're hearing my excitement. This is it. This is what we look for when we cut open stones. So let's get with the next slice so we can get a nice large cross section.
Tell us how you dial in the thickness of the next slice, please.
That's exactly what I'll show you.
Slick, because I'm enjoying the heck out of this.
This is my patented method. Guys, don't try to reproduce this unless you have beer. It has to be good quality. Okay. So here's my secret. You guys can use gauges. You ever see those stacks of gauges you can get at automotive stores that has basically a million slices of different metals that are different thicknesses, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's too fine of a thickness overall, and it's going to just be time consuming using that. So what I did is I purchased these microscopic slides.
Yeah.
And if you look at your thickness, you're dealing with 0.8 to 1 millimeter thickness.
Mm-hmm.
And so generally, it's pretty consistent. And I'll take and figure out how much of a slice I want to make out of these meteorites. And I'll take one slide. And you look at the thickness.
Yeah.
And I apologize if this micrometer, if you can't read the caliper, if you can't read the display, but you're at 0.97, 0.98 to 1 millimeter. Very accurate.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And guys, you're seeing it exactly how I do this, so keep it to yourselves. So I stack two up.
Okay.
Cool. And I know I'm going to get a nice large cross section, and you're looking at 0.201 millimeters. Mm-hmm. The thickness of the blade is 0.08. So you're going to lose that off of the thickness of the slice. So the end result will be a slice that's
1.2-ish?
1.2 millimeters. Mm-hmm. If I use two. Sometimes I use two, sometimes I use three, but for this particular presentation, we'll make a nice thin slice so you can see how accurate and stable this armature is. And
we'll just call this the Send It to Topher slice.
Exactly. This would be my Christmas gift to you, Topher.
Nice gauge. Yeah.
So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm putting it, there's a clamp underneath this armature. I'll show you right now. I'm not even afraid to pull this off because the previous position this vise is in, this right here keeps your previous cut. Mm-hmm. And you see it has the screw there. So I just lower it down and I check the next cut on the blade. So I just go like this and knock the blade a little bit just to see where it's at. Mm-hmm. So I used my gauges, which are the microscope slides. And now I'm just gonna fire up the water. You want to use a lot of water and distilled water.
Yep.
You don't use any cutting agent, any oil at all?
Eventually I will be using cutting agents, okay. But right now I'm just using distilled.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we can perhaps dip in on that topic at a later time. So let's fire up our water. Hey guys, this is going to be a pretty decent sized slice. So right now that blade is coming up to the meteorite, and it's the point on the meteorite is actually a very small surface area. So I'm going to have to take my time going into this cut, so that way it doesn't have any deflection and cause the meteorite to veer off course. It's nice and tight. So like I said, I get a lot of vibration at the start. And once I get like, you know, a couple centimeters of surface area that the blade has penetrated, then I could allow the weight to drop and feed itself into the slice.
So that's your method of variable speed. I like that.
All right, so now I'm letting the weight go. I'm about a centimeter in and 2 centimeters wide into the slice.
Ingenuity in engineering.
No issues. So I always keep my hand ready over here to the left to make sure that I'm not going to lose control ever. You always want to keep control of what you're cutting.
That really cuts quick.
Yeah, when there's not a whole lot of metal in them, they tend to cut a lot quicker.
Yes.
So now I'm holding the tether. Kind of slow down the weight, pulling it. Rock it back and forth. Shut your water off so you don't waste the water. A little bit larger surface area. We caught sister chondrules on this one, so you'll be able to see on one side.
Yeah.
Large chondrule.
It looks like a match to the other one.
Oh yeah, I'll show you. It's I mean, oh my God, the other side is beautiful. There is a conglomerate of chondrules on one chondrule on this thing. I've never seen anything like this. Okay.
I love this.
All right, check this out, guys. I hope this is clear. This is you know what? Let's take. Let me get my phone. Hold on. I want you guys to see this thing real good. I just don't want you to see the rest of my room. All right, look at that.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Wow.
That
you guys want to see the other side? You want to see the other side?
Oh yeah.
The big piece looks more like an inclusion in that side of the slice.
Oh, guys, I've never seen anything like this. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an inclusion of some sort.
Look at the. It looks like
Have a chondrule in it.
Yeah, it looks like it's nice and round, and it has multiple chondrules in there. That's amazing. It's a beautiful chondrite. What do you think of that, Pat?
Those bleached chondrules.
Yeah. I'm now being able to pick those out myself.
Yep, you're looking at the 6 o'clock position, that nice bullseye down there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And actually at the 12 o'clock position, there's another bullseye up there.
Yeah. Can we see it thin side on? How
Thin
straight?
side on.
How
Absolutely.
straight is the cut? And
How straight is the cut?
perfectly straight.
Yep.
That's gorgeous, man.
And that right there is me calibrating my machine.
You really got an eye for calibration.
Yeah, so one more point there that Stephen talked about, but maybe didn't go into super detail. Note that on the edge of the cut, it's at a considerable angle. And so if you just sort of stuff it into the blade will scoot down that slanted edge of the slice, and you won't get a good start. And so by starting very, very, very slowly, and sometimes even grabbing the blade, to guide it in. And after you're in a little ways, then it'll track straight. But yeah, that is a beautiful one, Stephen. You're going to need to talk with me about availability of that one.
Yeah, I have 400 grams of this material.
Wow.
I lucked out on this one, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Would you like me to do one more slice so we could check it out and we could do whatever you want after that? Or are you satisfied at this point? It's up to you. I would love to do one more cup with you.
We want to see more.
Yeah.
We want more.
Let's cut one more for sure.
Or do you guys want to see something else? Oh my God. Do you guys want me to rig this baby up in the machine? And like I said, we have one in the machine already, but this thing is highly weathered. But look at the chondrules in this. This is weird. You see that like reddish tinge? This is a little window right there on the in the middle of the screen.
All right. Tell you what we're gonna do. How long do you need to have to set that up? Because I have Arthur, Ron, and Cameron, and then we can come back to you cutting that one.
If that's what you want to do, it's up to you guys. We could do a slice on the LL3 or we could do a slice on this. Whatever you want.
I don't want you to have trouble getting the LL3 back square though.
I know, but that's a sacrifice I can make for you, buddy.
L3.
L3. Let's do another cut on the L3, man. Let's save this one for another time.
All right, sounds good.
I've only been trying to get him here since June 2nd. We started these hangouts on May 26th, so you can make a repeat showing, okay?
All right, let's do this, guys. So
I didn't want you to have a struggle to get that beautiful LL3 back into the vise in the exact same angle.
I appreciate that, Topher. That definitely would have been difficult for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to angle this back up. Hold on, just let me know. Is the view good right there?
Perfect.
All right, good. So I guess we'll go in again with the 2 slides. And luckily, the good part about what we have going on now is that the cross section is growing bigger because I wanted these slices to get bigger and bigger as I cut them. So, so again, the good thing about this is all the weight's cocked this way on this arm, so I can loosen this up, and it's not. I could drop this all the way down. It's not going to fall because the way it grabs.
That's how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. It's just now making sense to me.
Yeah. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I thought that you would start with the rock fully raised and then lower it in increments of thicknesses of slides, rather. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. So like. Yeah, so I lower it. All I do is, so I did the previous slice. I unlock this, and it's completely free. I take my slides. I got the 2 slides, and I just put it right up to the to where it was previously. I'll lock it in a position, man.
I don't know if it was just me or not, but I missed that last time. That's gorgeous. That's easy.
It's a manageable way to do it. And these pro slicers, a lot of people don't even like them, but I like them because I like the speed. A lot of people spend a lot of time cutting meteorites, and I know that I have to polish on the birth side of this process, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time cutting. The material wasted is minimal. Sometimes I can get my waste, my cutting losses down to even 10% sometimes, depending on the blade that I use. But the pro slicers are good blades. I have nothing against them. And the one thing I could say about these pro slicers now is that this is a 0.08 thickness. 0.08. Let me just double check. So this is a 6-inch at 0.08 thickness. Okay. It's probably a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, at the kerf on it.
The curve is 0.011.
Yeah, so it's a little bit larger than that. But
And let me interrupt you for 1 second, because that kerf is the actual cutting surface of the blade.
exactly.
And what you are doing allows that kerf to stay intact. what I do when I feed my rocks all crooked and don't get a good bite at first and force it sideways and at an angle through the blade, it just tears that kerf off and wears out the blade so quickly. So by
Yeah.
you actually having a proper setup, you can actually get the tools to perform better.
Exactly. And honestly, man, I measured these curves, and they're a little bit bigger than what the factory says, but it's so negligible. It cuts the meteorite so well and fast and straight. I think you guys would enjoy Pro Slicers. So let's start with this next cut. Sound good?
Do that.
Here we go. Lots of water. This thing's full. You always want to make sure the arm is down onto it because it can hold itself up. And the next thing you know, you'll have a really crooked cut. You know what I mean? So here we go. So I'm going nice and slow because this is abrasive. It's not actually cutting like a saw blade. It has to kind of wear away its path into it. If you just dive into it, it's going to favor the side of least resistance and kind of mess up your whole cut. So here we go. You can confirm you're going straight just by backing it up and off the blade. If you hear tons of sound, then you're not going in straight. If it's nice and quiet like that, then you know you're straight. All right, so we're about half a centimeter in. So we're quickly almost up to a centimeter. Let that water rip. Want to keep that cut nice and cool. Water is not a lubricant, just so you know.
Right.
It may cool it to the temperature that is the difference between the blade and the water temperature, but it's not a lubricant. It's strictly going to cool it down maybe a little bit. Keep those diamonds protected from wearing out quickly.
Yeah, when I cut something for classification, I don't use cutting oil, but when I cut something just for myself, I use a little bit of cutting oil in the water, and that acts as a lubricant and a coolant when I'm cutting higher metal ones. I don't think we mentioned this, but Stephen is the owner of Space Matter and a very reputable meteorite dealer, obviously a meteorite cutter and meteorite enthusiast. And the finder of Barnstable. Come on.
And you'll hear the tone of the blade change as you get to the end of the cut, and that's how you know how to slow down. And you can feel the resistance decrease in the tether for this machine. All right, here we go. Back forth, clear the chip off.
Mm-hmm.
We are on to larger cross sections on this beautiful blue.
Oh yeah.
Do you save your water and claim all the cutting dust?
Only when it's pure, because I do occasionally veer off course and cut some terrestrial stones. And in that case, I'll discard all of it. But I actually acquired 50 something grams of Lunar because I donated 800 grams of cutting dust that was pure from my cutting operation to a painter who wanted to use the cutting dust to incorporate it into some oil painting or something like that.
Nice.
So that was really cool, and it was a good trade-off, and I was glad that I kept the material clean.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because Lunar is actually, it was really cool stuff that's just making its appearance on the market.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. You can see the sister slice.
Yeah, jeez.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy with it.
Very
Dude.
nice.
That's a beautiful one, Stephen.
My God, we would have been high-fiving and screaming like little girls at the Meteorite Mansion.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Nice. Another inclusion by your index finger.
Yeah,
And guys,
1 o'clock.
you know what the irony is like, for example, the saw at the Meteorite Mansion, it probably had less deflection than that. You see those fine lines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's such a consistent cut.
Yeah.
Very consistent. Yeah.
It really doesn't hurt it that much. I'm not an engineer, but I do have some, like, I do know how to fine tune things a little bit. But that's not a huge problem. I could get that out with the lapidary discs.
That
You
is
know,
phenomenal.
Stephen, that would look beautiful as a blown up photo, as a piece of meteorite art to put on the wall, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would be your first customer for the first photo.
Look at these. I love Topher. You love sister slices too.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to make the obvious sister joke, but man, I am totally into sister slices. I think it's so cool to have them and then also share them with a friend if they have one and you have the other.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a cool one, man.
That is phenomenal.
I'll tell you what, in celebration of this video that we're making together here, this collaboration, I'll send you the sister slice to this one.
Oh, dude, you don't have to. I would be.
I would love
be
to,
honored.
man. Come on, we were Vignale's brother. So we could do this.
I am never one to say no to a beautiful meteorite from a beautiful person. So anything that you're willing to send my way, I will warmly accept in my forever collection. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. You're more than welcome. I'm not kicking you out. You're more than welcome to stay. Totally appreciate you taking us in your little cutting lab. Can't wait to get your new one set up and see some more stuff. That big one you had, I mean, I know you're constantly cutting, so maybe on a Wednesday you could plan to join us and cut some more stuff. And I really think that the audience would appreciate seeing that on YouTube as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know that I would love to see more and get together with you virtually over the airwaves. So thank you so much for joining us, Stephen. And your offer is very generous. Thank you, man.
It's my absolute pleasure, bro. I really love cutting meteorites, and I enjoy sharing it with people, man. That's what it's all about. It's what this community is about. We just totally dig each other. We dig meteorites. We love hanging out and talking about it, and I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and that's what we're all trying to build here, is a nice community that we can all get together and share stuff with. So thanks a lot for joining us, man.
Great work and stunning meteorites.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
That's a jelly bean.
Well, hold on. We're gonna go to Arthur first and see what he has, and then we got a line up here before we go to that black one.
I have a Nantan here that's 228.7 grams. And it was bought by a friend of mine 2 or 3 years ago in Tucson, but he lost the label and he doesn't remember who he purchased it from. So he asked me if I could identify it for him. And it just speaks Nantan to me, you know. I don't know what your agreements are on that, but it has a bit of bronzy patina, and I think there's a little bit of rust starting to show up. But
Arthur, aren't Nantans pretty prolific rusters?
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, they are.
Most time you can tell a Nantan because it's not in one piece anymore.
Yeah.
Nantan has a significant terrestrial age, and it's very common for it to show Widmanstätten patterns in 3D, like your piece.
Oh yeah, the texture is awesome in it. You know, it's too bad it's such a rusty item, but you know, it's a good size Nantan, that's for sure.
Yeah, that one's been had the shale and the rest of the stuff cleaned away from it. So yeah,
Right.
the way to be certain is to put an XRF on it and look at trace metal percentages or ppms. But
Yep.
I think just from eyeball, Nantan is a really, really good provisional guess.
Absolutely.
Nice. That's cool. It's neat seeing a piece of Nantan that's one piece. You know, when we were in Tucson, we were offered so much Nantan, and it's like, you know, the ones they have out for show are the ones they dusted off and took all this, and then yeah, you look underneath how they looked a half hour ago, and you're like, I wouldn't touch that with your sister. So let's check in with Ron Metchis.
Oh, okay.
If you're ready.
So, yeah. So I basically pull out just a couple random rocks here. You know, you're talking about just showing some pieces. So for a while there, I was really hooked on Canyon Diablo. So I collected a couple. So I thought I'd show those today, just real quick. And let me just change my camera here.
From my home state.
Mine too. That's where I grew up.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I lived there until I was
nice.
my 20s. So this is my first one I ever bought. What I like about this has this nodule. This is a graphite nodule right here.
Oh, yes.
See that right there?
Yeah.
Very atypical. I haven't found another one like that. But the rest of the rock is pretty typical Canyon Diablo. I just love Diablo. This one is pretty large.
It was weird because I had no frame of reference until your hands came in, and I'm like, damn, that's big.
Oh yeah, it's pretty big. It's about a pound. Okay, so then there's, but I love this. It kind of looks like a bunion to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah.
And the thing that kind of I like is it's very magnetic. If you get into these little black areas right in here, and there's no magnetic attraction, it's pure graphite.
Really?
And I took a high power microscope when I had access to one back in the days when I was working. See that little hole right there in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, there's a hollow underneath there. I was able to look down inside there. I didn't want to pick at it because I didn't want to destroy it. But there's actually a hollow underneath there somewhere. So I thought it was kind of a cool meteorite. This is my first one. So then let me get another one. I got
great shape.
Oh yeah. So this one I got in Tucson. This is a cut stone.
Yeah.
So I bought one. I thought, well, why not buy them both? Let me put this a little bit better.
I love that attitude.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, if there's something I can't decide on, I usually buy both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that on a few things, more than one occasion. But this is the only one I have that shows me a really nice crystal structure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So is that octahedrite structure?
It's an octahedrite. I think a coarse octahedrite, or medium octahedrite, rather. So and then the outside is your typical, looks like every other. So
it's got nice patina on it, though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. A couple of these I've cleaned. This one I left alone.
Can you show that one for 1 second? I want to ask Pat a question, or maybe you guys know. Turn it over so we can see one of the interiors. Do you notice how it's not, a silicated, but it's not Widmanstatin lines? What is it called when it's like? I've heard the term worming or worms. Does that mean anything to you guys?
Those look like they could be silicate inclusions, but remember that the Widmanstatin pattern is in 3D, and if you cut across it at different angles, you'll see different angles between the plates of taenite and camosite. But I suspect that one has silicates or scheibersite or something.
I think that's cohenite, where you get that kind of squarish, dark pattern in it. I think those are cohenite crystals.
Yeah, I don't think it's
cohenite.
I guarantee you that. All right, so
that's fantastic.
On to the next one real quick.
Thank you, Ron.
So this is probably my biggest one, and this one I got from Jeff Notkin. This is about a 2-pounder, about a kilogram.
Nothing boring about that.
No, this is one of my favorite rocks. I have to really bite. And right here, this little nodule right here, that's
What is
again,
that?
that's graphite. It has no magnetic attraction right in that little raised area right there. But right around it, it's completely magnetic.
Wow.
Fantastic shape, Ron. Wow.
Now the fourth one is also one I've cleaned. This is a little more solid. It's kind of featureless. It's still Canyon Diablo. But what I liked about this one is this little tail right here. That little piece right there. So this is just my little collection of Canyon Diablos that I've kind of accumulated for the last 8 years. And here
That's beautiful, man.
yeah, I just something about them. They're very distinctive. You know, they have. I've noticed with Canyon Diablos, these ridges are very defined. You don't see that a lot. It's the typical Canyon Diablo shape is the way I look at it.
In my opinion, everybody should pick up Canyon Diablo.
Oh yeah. I was lucky enough to visit the crater twice. Don't buy it in the gift shop. they charge a fortune. They do sell them.
They're very proud of their meteorites.
Pardon me?
They're very proud of their meteorites.
Well, they have a gift shop there, and they sell little tiny pieces, which you would pay for something like this on, the open market.
Family owned and operated.
Yeah, I know. They're very litigious too. One thing that I found out taking a tour up there was that they have a guy that goes out every day with a magnet and walks around the area and picks up new pieces to sell in the gift shop. So right from straight from the crater to you. That's about as direct marketing as you can get. He usually comes back 10 pounds a day. So
oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, not big pieces, but decent sized pieces.
Still, I'm hedging my bets on a 2.5 grammer from Sacramento Wash.
So that's what I wanted to show today. It's just my little fetish. Being from Arizona,
Beautiful, man.
I have a few meteorites.
Yeah, and all of them have differently unique shapes, different characteristics. Yeah, and that one with the graphite nodule on was pretty wild too. And for your first one, man.
So, about I'll put this one back in here for a second. About 6 years ago, 7 years ago, we were in Nova Scotia on vacation, and I've been watching this one I got this off eBay, and the guy dropped his price, I think like 10-15%. I thought, wow, that's for me. So I actually bought this long distance because I live in California. Nova Scotia is pretty far away, like a 9-hour plane ride. So by the time I got home from my trip, it was waiting for me at the mailbox. So coming home present.
Wow.
So we were there a couple of weeks. So by the time we got done with our vacation, we ready to go home. This is waiting for me.
That's all. Yeah, like with the mail right now. Geez.
Oh, you want to hear a story about that? I remember the piece I told you about. I bought in Latvia, the Tirhert. I think I told you about it last week. Just today, it moved out of Vilnius. It's been 3 weeks, 21 days sitting in their post office.
Wow.
So just today, it arrived in Chicago. So I should have that by hopefully the next meeting. It just, I thought that thing would never move.
Yeah, it's taken forever. I sent a package from Arizona to Canada, and it's been in Hong Kong for the last 25 days. It's now clearing customs in Canada on its way to Fred. So, yeah. But I want to share something with you guys after Cameron. This I haven't seen yet. It shipped from Italy 2 days ago, and I have it today. So surprise, surprise. So yeah, DHL. Let me see here.
DHL's the bomb.
Unfortunately, you have to pay through the nose for it.
Get it fast.
It's worth it. It's worth it, man. When you get your material in a week or less, that's amazing.
Absolutely. Let me see here, Cameron. If you're ready for us, I'm ready to go to you.
Oops, sorry. Let's see. Y'all came to see this. Oh, still didn't slip it.
We didn't come to see you. There you
There we
go.
So since we've been playing Guess the Meteorite.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Diogenite.
Yeah, it is Diogenite.
67.
It's not classified. This it's not classified, so it's not really fair.
Okay.
The first time we saw this was when John Higgins told us about it last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like John Higgins
crystal one.
material with the big peroxines.
So
Giant crystal Diogenite.
wow.
That showed up today. There's an end cut, 9.8 grams.
Oh, I want some.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they found it on Halloween near the ruins of a prison. I was like, that's got to be horror movie written all over it.
Yeah, that has Cameron all over it.
So
that
showed
wild.
up today.
Yeah.
So just know, the things we talk about here are obtainable. I messaged him before the meeting was even over, and he got back to me. So
that's crazy. Yeah, he just announced the new release of that, and that has crust on it too, doesn't it? On the little backside.
A little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, I think a few of us will be contacting John Higgins from Outer Space Rocks for a little slicey slice of that.
Yeah, his per gram price was shocking. So I just definitely, give me a good end cut. So
nice, shocking in a good way. I like to hear that.
Yeah,
awesome.
I was prepared to pay quite a bit more.
Oh, dude, that is sexy stuff right there.
And of course, it came with typical John Higgins level.
What's it called?
Tauduini. It's not. This is provisional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more cool that you're going to have a provisional COA.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Cameron, your collection looks amazing, buddy.
Oh, thanks. This is the however big micro collection from Michael Gilmer.
Holy smoke! Is that like U.S. meteorites?
Oh no, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff in here. I got it during he does 50% off sales every now and then, and I jumped on one. There's a bunch of stuff. He
very neat. The display is outstanding.
Few low number NWAs, but thank you. But that's all I had. Are you muted, Topher?
I was muted the whole time. Well, I was just telling you what a handsome man you were. No, thanks for sharing that, man, because that is remarkable material. I mean, when you think of crystals and Diogenite, 7831 NWA 7831 comes to mind, but those are small crystals. I mean, it's beautiful material, but to actually see the crystal embedded in the meteorite right there is just shocking. So I hinted that I have a new package here. Wow. So I guess security had to go into it.
Yeah.
But what is in here is the full lab report for a new piece that is in my collection. And good, it is complete. It's in a different language. It's in Italian. But I have full, complete lab results. I'll have to look over these and translate it later on, but it's the complete lab workup. And let me see here. I don't know if any of you chemists out there can figure out what it is based on, well, that right there. But let me show you the actual piece. I have not seen this myself yet. I'm all getting angry. I got meteorite hands. Whoever names this first, let me know. It's not classified. Come to daddy. Oh yeah, come to daddy.
What?
Any idea what we're looking at?
Let's see the backside. Is it cut?
It's a Sugartite.
Oh my god.
It is 45 grams of Martian Sugartite fully crusted.
Wow.
45 grams of Mars.
Jar up off the floor.
Yeah, this is the one that there were. Actually, this isn't the one I was thinking of. The other one is one that you posted for sale, Topher.
Yeah, that was a 6 gram piece trying to make room for this one.
Make room for that one. Yep.
But yeah, this was a little more than the 6 gram one, but I think it's going to be in my collection forever. I remember when I first started in the meteorites, I had the opportunity to hold chondrules. I think it was either 28 or 38 grams of Mars. And then randomly, almost a year later, I was at Mark Lyon's house, and he busts out he says, "I'm going to show you a piece of Mars that it's going to blow your mind." I said, "Well, unless it's 38.25 grams," and he was like, "That's how much it weighs," or whatever it was. It was the same exact piece. So randomly, I had the same piece of Mars put in my hand twice at 2 different places. And I thought at that time, holy crap, to own near 30 grams of Mars is something I would never achieve. Well, here's 45 grams.
You were destined to be the owner.
Fusion crusted baby. Yeah, so that is my very newest meteorite, as in it just arrived from Italy. And that is a huge chunk of Mars. I want to eat you up. So, and I have full lab reports to XRF to go with it to justify the expenditure, if you will.
Nice.
I have other things I can show unless someone else wants to show something. We're at 2 hours and I don't want to go super long. No one has something to show? All right, let me just pull out one more thing. This is, we talk a lot, and after this one, unless someone raises their hand, we'll probably call it quits. But we talk a lot about meteorites coming from Africa, Antarctica, but we can't get those. And Africa primarily because of the environment is very conducive to keeping them stable and keeping them dry and keeping them protected. But there's deserts all over the planet. In fact, I live in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona, another hotspot for meteorites. Well, around the world, like I said, there's various large deserts, and one of them happens to be the Atacama Desert in Chile. And they're really bringing a lot of meteorites out of Chile right now. I don't know if you guys are really paying attention to the Met Bowl. Every time they load the Met Bowl, do a search and look at all the stuff coming out of Chile. It'll blow your mind, and some of it is really just fabulous and gorgeous material. Besides the whole Imalac, you know what I mean? That's everyone knows Imalac is going to come from Chile, and it's going to be amazing. But here's one that I just picked up for myself. Los Vientos 262. It's 49 grams, and this is my first L6 melt breccia. There's only 48 of them in existence. So this is an L6 melt breccia. And let me take it out of here.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So this is like my very, very first L6 melt breccia. You can absolutely see it's brecciated. It's got some nice metal in there as well. Still visible chondrules. And we have pretty high magnetism. So it's an L. Still has, I don't know why they chose to put paint on it rather than a marker, which I would have preferred. It doesn't really come off, but. So I may have to send this to Amara to take an Amara slice off that. But this is, yeah, because I definitely want to give props to all over the world. We're not just American-based collectors, and we're not just talking about African meteorites. We love everyone and meteorites from all over the world. So this is an example of a Chilean desert find, Los Vientos 263, which means there's at least 262 other ones found in the same damn area.
Sounds like a field trip.
Yeah, yeah. And then other ones from Chile. This is one that I just got. I don't know if I showed this off or not, but this is Catalina 238, and this is the main mass. Of 715 grams, this is 650 of them.
Oh.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Love it when they're labeled. You got really good weathering going on there, and then a beautiful interior. And with the way it was cut, you can see that there was a void in the rock. It would have been like a 3D void, but since it was cut right there, I think it really adds to the aesthetic appeal of this rock.
Absolutely.
It really, I mean, we all love super fresh crusts. No one's going to argue with you there. But sometimes when you see the terrestrial age of the cosmic age of something, it puts in a whole nother perspective, and you realize everything that this has gone through here on Earth. Look at that massive chondrule right there. Right there. Yeah, so this is my new main mass from Chile, and I'll be totally out of focus. I'll be super happy to keep this in my collection until someone loves it more than I do, because my slogan is, I'm a dealer, not a hoarder. If it was up to me, I'd buy and keep everything, but that's just not sustainable. I see that we have Mike Kelly's hand up, so let me check him out and see what he has to say. There you go, Mike.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just had a couple quick ones to show off. On Ron's piece, that's cohenite, so that's iron carbide, and it's a function of bits of Canyon Diablo that were highly shocked. So those little wormy veins you see in there, that's what that is.
Oh, okay. Very good. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Could you spell that for me, please?
What
was it, or say it again?
Cohenite, Cohenite.
Okay.
I threw it in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, no problem. This was a cool one I just got a little while ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. This is Cactus Springs. So this was a Nevada American find. And it's hard to see. I only got a 0.7 on it. Only 3 pieces of this got released, and I don't think he's going to cut any more off the main mass. This was found in 2008, and I kind of took notice of it because the crust on it made it. I mean, the bigger end piece that went, I mean, it looked like it was fresh. So this is a cool American L6 that.
What's it, Cactus Springs?
Cactus Springs.
Wow.
I liked it because of the name, but the looks of it, won me over.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that was a cool little piece. And then I was missing a good piece with Newman lines. So I went and picked up this piece. This is Richland out of Texas. And this had a kind of a neat story to it too that I liked. So there was 2 finds. There was Richland and Fredericksburg, and Fredericksburg was found, I think, like 300 kilometers away. But they did chemical analysis on it, and it's the same stuff. But what was cool was that first piece of Richland was actually found in the bottom of like an old dry well.
Yeah.
But it's got great Newmans.
How the hell did it get in the bottom of a well?
Yeah, they're wondering. They don't know if it was in that bottom layer or it eroded out of the wall of the well. So that's to me that story alone made it made me have to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this was this was posted. This is a Dronino shell ball. So this was kind of. I've always liked the idea of understanding the way different things weather. And you can see it's got kind of interesting constriction, kind of breakup as it starts to fall apart and turn completely to oxides. And you can see it's got that good onion skin structure to it to understand how, the oxidation starts on the outside and slowly corrodes all the way in. And this one obviously got eaten all the way through, but it was kind of cool because the way it eroded out, it left a little tunnel back through there. So that was
what meteorite fall was that?
This is fine. This is Dronino.
Dronino, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dronino. Wow, that is like, I've never seen a Dronino that weathered.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's 100% oxides at this point. But I mean, it just stood out to me because you could really see that. When they talk about a shell ball and how it comes off in layers. This one is pretty stable. It's pretty solid, and it's got great layering to it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it might be a Nantan effort. No, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. Does anyone else have anything they would like to share with the group? Let me see here. Replace. There we go. Let me pause this. All right, guys, that was amazing. If we didn't keep our eyes on this, we'd probably go for another 2 hours because I have boxes and boxes. But I'm really happy that the first hangout of 2021 is underway and done after 4 hours of editing and posting and post-production, but it'll be up on YouTube tonight. Thanks everyone for joining us and showing off your stuff. Please drop me an IM and let me know what you showed off. And here's to a great 2021 in meteorites. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thank you, Topher.
Appreciate you joining.
Good night, guys. Love you
Stay
all.
healthy, everybody.
Thanks, Steven. Thanks for cutting. See you, Marco. You German.
Bye-bye.
Marco, you're the man.
Bye, guys.